Hello and welcome back to Proactive New York. I'm Christine Corrado. Joining me right now is Dan Wilton from First Mining Gold. Dan, good to see you. How are you?
Hi, Christine. I'm great. Thanks for having me on.
Dan, the group announced today that it will acquire the East Cedartree claims from Metalor Resources. What did you find attractive about this particular piece of land?
Listen, it's a really strategic piece of land that sits right in the middle of our Cameron project. And in fact, our initial blocks at Cameron that we own, prior to closing this, are actually two separate blocks. So they're not actually joined. This East Cedartree fills in a really important gap, but more than just the property. It's got a really interesting resource on it already, which we're looking forward to doing some more exploration around.
Can you talk to the specifics of what you've already seen at the property?
Well, it's something that we haven't done a lot of work on the ground on the property yet, but as it turns out, it's in the middle of our land package, so we've looked at it pretty closely over the years. And in fact, where the resource sits on East Cedartree is right beside, not surprisingly, our West Cedartree property, where we have a couple of resources at Dubinsky and Dogpaw, where there have been historical workings going back, tens of years. And they each have small established resources on them already, but no one's ever really looked at this area as a package. And so that's where I think the real opportunity is for us to kind of look holistically. And we see this across our projects where you have resources on either side of a fence line and they're not optimized. There's usually some real opportunity to expand those as you can start looking at them in an integrated fashion.
That definitely makes sense. So do you have a general idea of exploration targets at East Cedartree?
They've done a lot of really interesting work already. Metalor had on understanding some high-grade plunges in the area. Is there a high-grade core to that deposit that's structurally controlled that we can go back in and look at? But we're right now kind of having a bit of a holistic look at Cameron to see that we have so many targets on this property. We really have to go through an order of prioritization on them, which is important. And we're also in discussions with our Indigenous communities around exploration agreements in the area. So I think it's all going to kind of dovetail nicely into us moving forward permits to start drilling at a few different areas in the Cameron property in 2021.
So what work kind of needs to be done from here on out?
Most important work, I think, is actually taking a step back rather than just focusing right on each of these little deposits. Take a step back and look at the bigger picture. And that could be looking at, real structural geology. It could be looking at, what have we missed in the structure that no one's really looked at because you didn't have the whole package. And it's allowing us to go back and look not just at the Cedartree properties west and east, but also look back at Cameron and where do we think that we can expand or improve that resource as well. So this is truly a district scale land package that's had a ton of work done on it, but still, I think, a real opportunity in this environment to go back and better understand it.
And when do you expect the acquisition to actually close?
Next week is the game plan. So yeah, we'll be quick. We'll have it in the books for the end of the year, and then that allows us to really, get going on some of the work on the property that we're excited to get going on.
Excellent. Well, big congrats, Dan. Thanks so much.
Thanks, Christine.